Love is an interesting thing. It's fleeting. And I know everyone says that, I know that. But it's not just fleeting in that you feel love for someone and then it might go away. I mean that it's fleeting even within the period of loving someone. Because it's not like the butterflies that you feel are there every second of the day. You can get close. I've gotten quite close, but at the end of the day, it's a response. The butterflies are a response. They are a response to a memory or a desire or to an action taken by someone. Love is a set of actions, is what someone told me when I asked, because it can get so hard to try and figure out what is it that I am feeling and how does it fit into the greater context of a relationship. The confusion around what I feel is not just something that applies to romantic endeavors, even if that is where it comes up the most. I mean, even with my parents, there have been times where I get confused on where we stand. We're with my brother or with my friends. It's hard knowing how much you're willing to sacrifice for someone. It's hard knowing how much you can go through with someone. Even if it's not butterflies in the romantic sense with most people, I know that there's a feeling of happiness that comes up when I see my dad do something a little silly, or when I have a laugh with my mom about something that we both agree on. And I know it's because that positive feeling is there that the negative feelings can be so strong as well. With anyone, the volatility of my emotions really gets to me sometimes, but I know that it's only there because I feel, and I know that I feel so strongly because I care. But at times I worry that I care too much, that I care more than those around me care, and that that's somehow embarrassing, that's somehow something to be ashamed of because I need to hide it. Nonchalantness is something that we chase after. I know there's jokes about it, and I know that it's hard for me to discern how much I can show people because it's scary how much that I can care, and it's scary how much I think. When I try to understand what love means, it's trying to understand why for so long it was so hard for me to say I love you to my parents when they said it to me. Why it was so hard to hug them when they clearly wanted to hug me. How that feeling of warmth, that feeling that I wanted to reach out, no matter how much I wanted to, that it was still hard. What other feelings could cloud it? And if we return to that feeling I have for those that I might be romantically interested in, but how do I even know if I'm romantically interested in someone? I don't know. I've never known. It's something I've tried to figure out my whole life, and I know what it's like for me to care for someone in a way that I know that they don't care for me, but I also that I know that they want to care for me because I also have been in a position where I care for someone, but not in the way that they want me to care for them. I know it's something we can't control, and even those butterflies, I know that we can be put into circumstances, create circumstances and contexts in which they will come more often, but you can never control when it comes and when it goes, and that's what makes it fleeting. That's what makes it special, they say. But I don't like that. I don't like things I can't fully calculate to a T no matter how much I try, and I do try. I try so hard. But you can't know because everyone is so, so peculiar. Everyone is so, so interesting. My whole life I've tried so hard to figure out where is it that spectrum, that difference between a friend and someone who I don't want to be my friend only. It's hard, it's complicated, it's difficult, especially because I'm so prone to obsession. Obsession over things, obsession over stories, obsession over media, obsession over people. People who I've just met a few days ago. How do I tell that apart from love? Is love just obsession? Can obsession be permanent? Can love, therefore, be permanent for me? I fear that so often, so long, I want it to be permanent. I want it to be able to be permanent, or at least replicable through those actions. But what if it isn't? What if those actions produce a different result over time? Impermanence is one of my biggest fears, not just in love, but with everything. Impermanence of myself, of my body, of my thoughts, of my mind. Impermanence of my legacy, impermanence of how I'm seen, how I'm perceived. I don't like knowing that things can change. I don't like knowing that progress isn't permanent. As I look to the world around me, I see that progress isn't permanent. As rights are rolled back, rights of myself, of my people, of people like me, of myself are rolled back. As struggle can increase and decrease just as easily. I don't like that. Because I know that in my past, things have been harder for me. I know that I have come such a long way, so to think that that progress might not be permanent, for what may it matter? I don't know. When I think back to love, how it can be a series of actions, what are those actions? What does that mean? How do I know when it's worth the risk? I guess you don't. More and more as I grow, I realize that humanity isn't meant for anything. Humanity just exists. Suffering just exists. And we try so hard to change that. But at the end of the day, existence is just existence. And I guess in that same vein, love is just love. It happens. It's there. And just like how meaning is not tangible, just like how what we consider suffering isn't fully tangible, I guess love isn't fully tangible. And I think I need to come to terms with, as best I can, that things just happen. That things just happen. Sometimes you just have to go with the flow. Things don't have to mean a certain thing. Love doesn't have to be a certain way. Because one thing I do know, more than any of these feelings and what they mean, is that when I care, and I know that I care. And so I know that I care about what my relationship with my parents is. I know that I care what my relationship with my friends are. I know that I care what my relationship with my brother. I know that I care what my relationship is with those who I may or may not love. I don't have to label what kind of care it is. I just know that I care. And I guess to care is to love, and to love is to hate. That sounds cringy. I just mean that it's all caring. I've said before, the opposite of love is not hate, it's apathy, because to care is the real emotion. So, that's it for today. Just my musings on love. Au revoir.